You ever just open your fridge, stare inside for 5 full minutes, and forget why you're there? Yeah, that's me with life. I open the fridge of existence, expecting some grand purpose to pop out like, surprise, here's your dream career, emotional stability, and a sense of direction. But instead, it's just leftover self, doubt, and expired ambition from 2017. Like seriously, there are days I wake up, stretch dramatically like I'm about to conquer the world, then immediately crawl back under the covers because I forgot how to human. I'll sit on the edge of my bed for an hour thinking about everything I should be doing, and then, plot twist, I do none of it. But hey, I did manage to scroll through 47 dog videos and Google how to stop overthinking without actually clicking any articles. So, progress, sometimes I'll look at my friends, those mysterious creatures who seem to have jobs, gym routines, and houseplants that are still alive, and I'm like, how? I can't even commit to a YouTube playlist, let alone a 5-year plan. Like, do they get a secret adult manual I missed? Was there a Zoom meeting for how to figure out your life? And I just overslept. And let's not even talk about the 2 a.m. existential crisis. You know the one. You're lying in bed trying to sleep and your brain goes, hey, remember that one awkward thing you said in 8th grade? Let's relive that. Forever. And you're like, cool, but also, what if I die alone, surrounded by takeout containers and unread self-help books? I'm not saying I've given up, but if life were a video game, I'm definitely stuck on the tutorial level. The quest says find your passion, and I'm over here punching trees and accidentally setting my kitchen on fire. But you know what's wild? Even in the middle of all this chaos, I've started to realize, maybe we're not supposed to have it all figured out. Maybe the whole point is bumbling around, messing up, eating cookies, and learning stuff along the way. Maybe life isn't about a final destination. It's about collecting weird little moments like Pokemon and hoping some of them evolve into wisdom. So yeah, I still don't have a 5-year plan. I don't even have a 5-day plan. But I do have a little more grace for myself and snacks, mostly snacks anyway. If you're spiraling through the fog too, just know, you're not alone. We're all just weird little stick figures bumping into walls, tripping over expectations, and occasionally, accidentally, stumbling into joy. And if all else fails, just keep snacks nearby. It won't fix everything, but it will buy you time to pretend you have your life together, which honestly is close enough. You know what's even worse than not having your life figured out? Watching someone else figure theirs out in real time. Like you're scrolling Instagram, and there's Becky from high school, the girl who once ate glue during art class, and now she's suddenly married, running a vegan bakery, and somehow raising a golden retriever who wears glasses and has his own followers. Meanwhile, I just microwaved a burrito so badly it caught fire on one end and stayed frozen in the middle. So, we're all on our own timeline, right? Sometimes I feel like life handed out blueprints to everyone except me. Like, here's your plan, Chad, you're gonna be a lawyer by 28, have abs by 30, and cry only twice a year. And then it got to me and went, just wing it. No steps, no roadmap, just a vague sense of dread and a strong Wi-Fi connection. I keep thinking some magical email will pop into my inbox titled, Instructions for Existing, Start Here. But all I get are promotions from a sock company I don't remember subscribing to. And don't get me wrong, I try to be productive. I make lists, I write goals, I schedule things in a planner I bought for aesthetic purposes only, but my brain has other plans. It's like, let's spend 30 minutes preparing to start, and then take a break because wow, that was exhausting. I once spent an hour planning how I would tackle my to-do list, and then took a nap as a reward for planning. Who needs results when you can have intentions? Also, I've developed this talent, maybe it's a survival mechanism, where I can convince myself that literally anything is more important than what I actually need to do. Need to update my resume. Nah, let me organize my desktop folders into categories I'll forget tomorrow. Need to send an important email. Oh, wait, it's suddenly crucial to deep clean my ceiling fan at 11:47 p.m. Nothing sparks productivity like avoidance. And then there's that fun little voice in the back of my head, let's call her Brenda, who loves to chime in with helpful commentary like, you're behind, or you should have figured this out by now, or the classic, everyone else is doing better than you. Thanks, Brenda. Super helpful, so supportive, totally invited. But here's the thing, Brenda's kind of a liar. Like, yeah, I may not have a house, kids, or retirement plan, but I have grown emotionally, learned how to set boundaries, and figured out that drinking 6 cups of coffee a day is not a personality trait. That counts, right? There was this one time I spiraled so hard about not knowing what I was doing with my life that I started looking at job listings for goat yoga instructors. Don't ask me how I got there. One minute I was searching for freelance writing gigs, the next I was reading, must be comfortable with livestock on your back. And I sat there thinking, okay, but could I be good at this? Which just proves that desperation and curiosity are a dangerous combo. But honestly, maybe the problem isn't that I haven't figured out my life. Maybe the problem is thinking I should have figured it out already. Like, who decided there's a timeline for this stuff? Who woke up one day and said, by 25 you must know your purpose, build your empire, and drink green smoothies daily. I don't even trust myself with plant care, let alone building an empire. Let me be confused. Let me wander a bit. Let me have 3 slightly different career paths in the same week. And don't get me wrong, I still have my panic moments. I still stare at the ceiling like it holds the answers. I still compare myself to people with color-coded planners and actual savings accounts. But I'm learning to laugh at the mess, to sit in the fog and say, okay, maybe I don't know where this is going, but I'm still moving, even if that movement looks like baby steps. Or crawling, or rolling dramatically across the floor with a bag of chips, because maybe life isn't about figuring it all out. Maybe it's about experiencing the weirdness, the mistakes, the unexpected detours that lead you to something better, or at least to a funny story. Maybe we don't need a master plan. Maybe we just need coffee, a good playlist, someone who gets us, and the courage to keep showing up even when we have no clue what we're doing. So yeah, I'm still that person who forgets why they walked into the kitchen. I still overthink emails and rewatch old shows instead of finishing my big goals. But I'm here, I'm trying, I'm growing, and if I'm being real sometimes that's more than enough. And hey, if I never figure it all out, that's fine too. I'll just become a part-time goat yoga guru with a side hustle in motivational stick figure animation. At least then, I'll look like I've got it together, and really, isn't that what life's all about? You know what's wild? Some days I get this burst of random motivation, like the universe just slapped a "you can do this" sticker on my forehead. I'll open a new document, crack my knuckles like I'm about to write the next great American novel, and 5 minutes in, I'm Googling how long would it take to walk to Canada if I left right now. Not because I want to go to Canada, but because the idea of dropping everything and just walking away dramatically feels easier than answering one single email. That's the kind of energy I'm working with. I romanticize the idea of starting fresh in some small town where nobody knows me. I sell candles out of a converted van, and my biggest stress is whether I should name my business Wicked Intentions or The Scent of Regret. Like, yeah, I'm unhinged, but make it aesthetic. But here's where it really gets ridiculous. I'll have these long, overthinking marathons where I spiral so hard I create entire fake scenarios in my head. Like, what if I never become successful and I have to move in with my parents and share a bunk bed with my childhood teddy bear, Mr. Fluffington, and he judges me every morning while I eat cereal straight out of the box. And then, instead of doing something productive, I just sit there marinating in imaginary disappointment, not even real disappointment. I'm stressed out by situations I invented. My brain is basically running a 24/7 fictional drama series starring me, and somehow the ratings are still bad. And yet, in the middle of all this nonsense, I have these tiny, quiet moments where I feel okay. Like, I'll be sitting on the floor, surrounded by chaos laundry I swore I'd fold 2 days ago, unread books stacked like Jenga blocks of guilt, my phone buzzing with unanswered texts, and suddenly, it hits me. This mess, this confusion, this what am I doing with my life? Fog, it's not failure. It's just being human. It's the weird in-between space where growth happens without a spotlight. It's the part of the movie before the character has their big breakthrough, when they're still eating noodles with a pencil and crying during toothpaste commercials. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the most important things we learn come from moments that feel the least cinematic. Because here's the truth nobody really tells you when you're growing up. Life doesn't come with clarity. You don't wake up one day and magically get it. There's no loading screen that says, Level 27 unlocked. You now know what you're doing. Most of us are just winging it with a combination of caffeine, emotional resilience, and occasional breakdowns in the Target parking lot. And the ones who look like they've figured it out, half the time, they're just better at hiding their panic under linen shirts and curated playlists. I used to think not knowing made me weak, that being confused or unmotivated or directionless meant I was failing. But now, I think it just makes me real, because the truth is, nobody is constantly crushing it. Even the most put-together people have days where they lie in bed and think, I don't want to be a person today. And the beautiful, messy part of it all is that we keep showing up anyway, even when we feel lost. Even when we're tired. Even when Brenda, remember her, the voice in my head, starts listing all the reasons I'm behind. So if you're in the thick of it right now, doubting yourself, comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel, or staring at the ceiling like it holds divine answers, just know this: you're not broken. You're not failing, you're just figuring it out. And figuring it out looks a lot less like a montage with upbeat music and a lot more like microwaving leftovers in your pajamas at 2 a.m. and whispering, one more day, let's go. And yeah, I might not have my dream job or a six-pack or a color-coded life plan, but I've got a little bit of hope, a weird sense of humor, and a growing collection of oops, I survived that moments. And honestly, that's not nothing. That's how character arcs are built. That's how you become the kind of person who can tell stories, laugh through the wreckage, and remind others that it's okay not to be okay. So maybe I'll never fully figure it all out. Maybe I'll always be that person with way too many tabs open both in my browser and in my brain. But as long as I keep trying, keep learning, and keep laughing at my own absurdity, I think I'm doing all right. And if nothing else, I'll always have Mr. Fluffington and a freezer full of emergency waffles to fall back on. And really, what more do you need? So yeah, maybe I won't win any awards for most put-together human. Maybe my legacy will just be a series of half-finished to-do lists, abandoned hobbies, and an alarming number of coffee mugs that mysteriously disappear into the void of my room. But you know what? I'm learning that figuring out life isn't some one-time grand revelation. It's 100 tiny choices. It's getting out of bed when you'd rather disappear. It's deciding to keep going even when nothing makes sense. It's laughing at yourself when you catch your reflection in the microwave door at 3 a.m., holding a spoonful of peanut butter and questioning every decision that brought you here. That right there, that's growth, baby. Messy, chaotic, slightly salty growth. I think the biggest plot twist of all is realizing that maybe the whole point of life isn't to arrive at some perfect destination where you suddenly have your dream job, your dream body, your dream house, and zero insecurities. Maybe it's about learning to live inside the mess, not in spite of it, not after it's cleaned up and packaged with a motivational quote slapped on top, but in it. In the weird, sticky, confusing, beautifully awkward middle part. The part where you still overthink texts and sometimes cry for no reason, and occasionally get weirdly emotional during toothpaste commercials. Seriously, why are dental hygiene ads so touching lately? Someone should look into that. And look, if you're still worried that you're behind or broken or just wrong somehow, let me remind you there's no scoreboard, no cosmic timer, no life referee blowing a whistle every time you mess up. There's just you doing your best with what you've got on the days you can, and on the days you can't. That's okay too. You're still here, you're still trying, and that counts for more than you think. So no, I don't have my life together. I still freeze up when someone asks me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because honestly, I barely know what I'm having for dinner. I still get overwhelmed by the pressure to be something, when I already am something, a work in progress. A collection of bad puns, deep thoughts at inappropriate times, and an oddly strong emotional attachment to fictional characters. And I've decided that's enough, I'm enough, even if I never figure it all out. Even if my masterpiece is just a weird little doodle drawn in crayon at 2 a.m., while crying and eating cereal straight from the box. And hey, if one day I do figure it all out, cool, I'll let you know. But until then, I'll be here, tripping through life like a confused stick figure with too many tabs open, hoping my confusion at least makes someone else laugh, or feel seen, or just feel a little less alone in the beautiful mess we're all wobbling through together. So cheers to the overthinkers, the late bloomers, the emotionally exhausted, the coffee dependent, the ones who don't have it all figured out but still show up anyway. We're not lost, we're just taking the scenic route. And honestly, the view's not bad.